Welcome back to today's second session quarterfinals. The winners are the Montgomery County Indians, head coach Jason Mays, student athletes Caden Reed, Andrew Terry, and Ethan Dunn. Coach, comments, please.
Credit, first of all, goes to North Laurel. Nate Valentine had those guys ready to go. And Jiminy Christmas, that kid can play. He's a beast. Film doesn't do him justice. Reese Davidson's a heck of a player, plays for a heck of a coach, comes from a heck of a family. I know that kid would rather win than score 41 points, but that's the tale of the game. We had to figure out how to break his rhythm, and we did a much better job of that in the second half. And all that credit goes to our players. One of the reasons we have Andrew Terry up here tonight is because he led that charge in the second half. And he's going to be a stud in his own right because he's just a freshman. I think he grew up by leaps and bounds tonight. But that was the story of the game. We just had to hang on to the end, and we had to make Reese either not get the ball or miss shots there in the third and fourth quarter.
He's not up there, but Tice, that third quarter, he comes out, scores 11 points, and has a really big impact there. Kind of really got things going there in the third quarter for you guys. I know he missed a lot of shots there in the first half, but kind of what was a conversation there at halftime with him particularly?
I didn't have to say much to him. I mean, he knew I was on his rear end, probably too much, to be honest with you. During the game in the first half, I probably got a little bit too emotional with him. And Tice doesn't always respond well to that, but he responds to love, and he knows I love him. And halftime I left him alone, and I think his teammates really helped him. You can ask him that, but he responded like a champion. And I'm really proud of him. I'm really proud of him because a year ago, he would have not had that response in the second half. So he's growing up.
Right here.
Ethan, I know you don't know. I know your double point guard tends to get a little more attention now and then, but you had 6 points there in the fourth quarter. Can you talk about that?
I just felt like I had to be a difference maker. My defense gets me going, and playing on Reese as soon as I got in, that set me up. So I feel amazing. Them 6 points helped us win, and I love these guys. So
I feel amazing. I love it.
Caden, 29 points. What was it like out there? You played in a lot of big games outside, and this is their biggest game, obviously, but just talk about what you're seeing out there on the court. You kind of led the attack in the first half.
Yeah, I just look at it like it's normal, really. But I mean, the lights are a lot brighter. But but other than that, I just go out there and play. Trust my teammates. They trust me, and get the job done.
Caden, again, in some ways you could almost boil this down at the free throw line, the difference in this game. And you see a lot of guys go up there and miss shots here, getting at the rim, and just the pressure. You're 8 for 8, just kind of mentality there at the stripe tonight.
When I was younger, like a freshman, sophomore, I never made them. I never made them. So this summer I took time to shoot free throws a lot and just breathe, stay focused on what's there, and just knock them down.
Here on the end.
Coach Mays, in the second half, coming out of a North Laurel timeout, you guys forced 3 straight turnovers, 2 on steals by Tice. What was talked about in your huddle at that time?
Just sticking to our adjustment on Reese Davidson, not complicating it, simple. And he just woke up finally. And, what you guys see in the first half, it's like he had margin on his hands. Like he couldn't even hold on. He couldn't get a ball. In the second half, it was just cleaner basketball for him. I think that, something just switched at halftime. But yeah, that was huge. We call that a kill, 3 stops in a row. We always want to get a stop after a timeout. When you get a kill after a timeout, that's a huge momentum swing. So that was a big pivotal part, you're correct, of the game.
Up front.
Hey, then talk a little bit about that last play. After you hit those 2 free throws, Davidson comes down. You know, if he puts up the shot, it's probably going to go in, but you get the steal. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, I just trust my instincts. I do it a little too much. Ask him yesterday, he got mad at me for doing that, running past him. But he trusts me, and I trusted myself to go get this done. I knew he wasn't passing it, so just go and help. 22 over out.
Last question right here in the middle.
Coach, I know you're trying to enjoy this one, but thoughts on tomorrow's Great Crossing or Cooper and trying to get prepared for that?
We played Great Crossing in December, first 2 weeks of the season, if I recall correctly. We didn't have Luke Fons, nor did we have Caden Reed in that game. But I don't want to take away from what Coach Sully has done at Cooper. I think it's awe-inspiring. And I'll leave it at that. So that'll be a good game. We'll see who we play. And, we'll take the next step forward and see what we can do.
Coach Mace, congratulations to you and the Montgomery County Indians. Good luck tomorrow in the semis.
What
Thank
time
you,
we
sir.
play?
Thanks, guys.
Play at 1:30.
I have no idea. We have the North Laurel Jaguars, head coach Nate Valentine, student athletes Cooper Elza, Cole Jervis, and Reese Davison. Coach, comments, please.
First off, I mean, we were blessed to be in this position, to be playing here today. And I told these guys they have nothing to hang their head about. They play great. You shoot 62% and get beat. Give Montgomery credit. They turned us over 19 times. And it's very hard in a tournament like this when you have 1 day prep to I don't think that we played anybody all year that pressured the ball the way they did and pressured inbounds. But we gave up way too many out of bounds under. And that's, like I told the guys, that's on me, and not being able to get the ball inbounds there a little bit too was just lack of being prepared. But you can't turn the ball over 19 times in a state tournament and have a chance to win. But just super proud of these guys and the fight they had, and still, shoot 50% from the free throw line, all of that, and you're still have a chance to win. Have a chance to get it to overtime there at the end. So, with an unbelievable performance, a star was born this week. With Reese Davidson scoring 41 points, scoring 36. Average players don't do that. He's elite, and we've kept it about the team all year. But Reese is an elite player, and his trend line is, he may not be the best player right now in the state, but his trend line is he's going to surpass that if he hasn't already very quickly. That's an unbelievable performance by him.
Question right here on the court.
Nate, I want to start there with Reese again. You've coached a lot of talented big men. I got to see a lot of them when you were at LCA. Where's Reese? I mean, if you want to talk about this too, Reese, just kind of where is he as a player and where do you think he can go?
He passed them all this week. I mean, normal guys don't get 36 and 41 in the state tournament. The way he shot the ball, the way he played with poise, with his size, ability to pass the ball. The turnovers again are I think just it's very hard when you only have 1 game, 1 day to prepare for a team like that. But he played outstanding. 3-4 guys on him. We're going to send Montgomery County a bill for ripping his jersey. He's got a hole in the back of his jersey, so we'll be sending Jason Mays a bill for that. But he gets beat to death all year. I've probably been harder on our officials than I have all year, but he just gets killed. Nobody can guard him, so they just beat him to death until. Early in the year, I think he gave in, and now he's got to the point where he can just play through it, and absolutely just carried us this week.
Coach, North Laurel has been an established program in Kentucky for a while, but you kind of resurged with this new nucleus that you have had. How have you seen these players on your team step up as leaders over the course of the season?
Yeah, these guys are the reason. They're the guys that stuck it out. They're the guys that stayed. They're the guys that have been loyal to North Laurel. They hit some adversity, and these guys just keep coming back the next day and say, Coach, we're with you. We'll do whatever you want to do. And that's what makes it hard. That's what makes it hard. These guys are terrific.
Final questions?
Coach, you mentioned yesterday's win being the first win for North Laurel in program history. How do you want these guys to remember this season?
That's what I told them. They have nothing to hang their head about. Like, we set out to win the district, win the region, and go to Upper Arena and win a game. And then we said we go from there, and they accomplished that. And the teams that, these guys were able to come here and win this year because of what Reed Shepard, Ryan Davidson, Clay Sizemore, Caden Harris, all those guys that came the 2 years and we got beat. They paved the way, and these guys paved the way for the next group. And I hope Cole's a senior, not going to be here, but I hope the next two can experience the fruits of their labor.
Any final questions for the student athletes? Coach Valentine, congratulations to you and the North Laurel Jaguars on a great season. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.